from the Rawsome Truth. Today I want to talk to you about the weight loss merry-go-round. Today I read a status of somebody's on Facebook where she said, I've been on this weight loss mission for 30 years. When is it going to end? And I automatically felt really sad for her. I've been working in the weight loss industry for over 7 years, and I've worked with thousands of women, and I'm not exaggerating. I worked for a very large weight loss company, and I used to see up to 600-700 women a week, and some men, but mainly women. I used to see a lot of people, so I have worked with a lot of people, and I have a great understanding on why people never get off the weight loss merry-go-round. Now, the number one reason is the weight loss industry don't want you to. And let's just look at big weight loss companies, and there's a few really big weight loss companies that are worldwide, and they put you on energy deficit diets. Some you may go and pick up the food, the other you might be in a certain budget, and you can eat whatever you like as long as it fits in your budget. Okay, those particular kind of diets, only 5% of people ever lose their weight, and out of that 5%, only 10% ever keep it off. And that's not to say they keep it off long term. That's to say, let's say they might keep it off for at least 12 months. So the odds are really packed against you. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say those programs are all bad, because they have changed people's lives, maybe not dramatically, but they encourage people to be a little bit healthier than what they were. But I kid you not, I used to, I'd see people's food trackers and I'd see what they're eating, and some people, a lot of people would try and fit still their, McDonald's meal into their budget, or they would still try and fit their pizzas or, whatever food that they always used to like into their meals. And for the rest of the day, they'd be eating next to nothing. So in turn, you'd be starving your body. So what happens when you starve your body? The binging begins. So here we go on the weight loss merry-go-round again. A lot of people who want to lose weight have generally tried energy deficit diets, probably more than once. I know from when I was working, people would go off and then they'd come back on, and I wouldn't see them for a couple of months, and then they'd walk through the door, here they were again. One thing I did notice is each time they come back, they'd actually put on more weight than the last time they were in there. And the reason for this is not because they probably went out and ate more than they used to beforehand, but what happens is each time that we lose weight, once you start, especially through starvation, and when we are lowering calories to 12 and 1500 calories and eating that long term on a daily basis, we are starving our bodies of nutrition. So when you start to eat again, your body goes like this: oh my goodness, she's going to feed me, and stores the fat. So in turn, you get bigger again. Hence, by the time you come back, you've got more weight yet again to lose. Another lot of diets that are out there which are very popular are the shake diets. And generally, look, anyone who's watching this who's been on the weight loss merry-go-round for a long time, I know you've tried just about every diet there is. And the shake diets are probably one of the worst, because most people cannot sustain them long term because people want to eat. So to live on a shake for breakfast, lunch, and then you have a light dinner, and generally it's advocated to have some fish and a bit of salad, that's not enough for your body. Your body is not getting what it needs. And of course, by the time you finish it, you're starving again. Most people, when they're starving, especially when they haven't created a healthy mindset, automatically go back to their old habits. And look, it's the same with any particular diet that you go on, whether it's a cabbage diet, an energy deficit diet, a shake diet, or anything else. Most of the time, if you don't create a healthy mindset, you are never going to lose the weight long term. So the most important thing for people, if they want to get off the weight loss merry-go-round, is to stop falling into fad diets. And I call energy deficit diets fad diets. I call shake diets fad diets. They're not sustainable. I call portion control a fad diet. Now, let me tell you why I call portion control. And you've probably heard about this so many times. Oh, I've got to watch my portions. I've got to watch my portions. When you're watching your portions at the time that you're dieting, that's fine. But all of a sudden, you're not in that dieting mode anymore. And instead of grabbing the 1 cup of oats, next thing you know, you're grabbing 2. But it gets unhealthier because bit by bit, you might have had 1 or 2 slices of pizza. Oh, yeah, I had 2 slices, but you cut the slice that big. I know, I'm talking to you. You do it. You're having a laugh. And these are the kind of things that people do with portion control. So, you want to get off the weight loss merry-go-round. How do you do it? Now, years ago, one of my clients said to me, she said, you know what, Jade, if you could work out the key for people to lose their weight for life and stay motivated to continue to stay on this weight loss journey, road, whatever it is, you'd be a very rich girl. I believe I've worked out the key. I'm still not rich. Anyway, enough of that. What is my key? My key for me, and I've lost a substantial amount of weight, not probably as big as some other people were, but I have lost a lot of weight. About 20 kilos. I'll put the pounds in. I have lost a lot of weight and I have managed to keep my weight off. I have, however, I did struggle because I went from calorie restriction to coming over to the lifestyle that I share now, and my metabolism wasn't working the way it should be because I calorie restricted for many, many years. So, how do you get off the weight loss merry-go-round for life? You have to create lifelong healthy habits for life. Now, I'm not advocating just only raw diet. I currently, and I have been for the last 18 months, I have been following 100% raw vegan diet, where I mainly consist my diet of fruits and leafy greens, and I haven't for a while, but you can include some small greens and some small nuts, seeds, avocado or coconut milk. But if you have come from just being unhealthy, I'm not advocating you to come into that particular lifestyle straight away. I think the best lifestyle for people to sustain long term is to come in and start creating lifelong healthy habits on a plant-based diet. Eating lots of vegetables, eating starches, and making yourself meals that you can sustain. When you start to eat a lot of plants in your diet, your weight is going to automatically come off. It's just going to happen. And you're not going to be trying. You don't have to do your weekly weigh-ins. In fact, ditch the scales. Just concentrate on taking photos, see how you're improving your energy, improving your pants, fitting you better, all those kind of things. Fill your plate with vegetables. Bulk it up with vegetables. When you're bulking your plate up with lots of vegetables, you're going to feel satisfied. Your body's going to be getting the vitamins and the nutrients that it needs, and you can make meals that you can sustain lifelong. So my honest opinion for anybody, if you're wanting to get off the weight loss merry-go-round, there's a documentary called Forks Over Knives, which I would recommend you to watch. Really get an understanding of what animal products are doing to your body, how you are craving them continually, how they are putting excess fat into your body. Gain an understanding on plant-based nutrition. You will not starve. You will actually eat more than enough, and you can feel satisfied. I would advocate having as much raw food as possible, however. So really bulking the majority of your foods out with fruits, leafy greens, big salads, lots of live foods. The more live foods that you eat, the more alive your body's going to feel. But I'm a realist, and I know for people who've been on the weight loss merry-go-round for years and years and years, and are probably coming from eating disorders, junk food addictions and everything else, I know to turn around and say to you, just eat raw, is probably not the most practical thing. This is why I advocate baby steps. When you wake up each morning, have a think, how can I make myself healthier today? So the first thing I tell people is educate yourself. Education and knowledge is power. The more knowledge you have on plant-based nutrition and healing your own body, your health, your weight, and everything else, the greater your success is going to be. The second thing I advocate is don't push yourself further than you're ready to go. How many times have you started things and you've been so motivated? You've woken up and you've said, yes, I can do this. And you're cutting up all your veggies and you're packing everything up and you're all organised and you've got your meals down pat and you said, oh my God, I can do this. And 24 hours later you say, oh my God, I can't do it anymore. I've seen it. I've done it. It happens. In fact, I've done things like that many, many times before I actually lost my weight. So take baby steps in order to improve your health. If you include every week something new, something healthier in your lifestyle, bit by bit, you can keep climbing those steps. Let's just say we've got 1,000 steps until we reach the pinnacle of health. Let's just say it's 1,000 steps. So every week or every day or whatever, if you keep improving, you're going to look back and say, my goodness. And people are going to say to you, what are you doing? And I assure you they will, because so many things are going to improve for you if you move into a plant-based diet. 1, you are never going to feel hungry again. You need to follow a high-carb, low-fat diet, however. You need to keep your fat levels low. You need to keep your protein levels low. If you're worried about me saying that, you say, read Proteinaholic by Dr. Garth Davis. It'll tell you everything you need. You'll learn a lot when you watch Forks Over Knives also. And you need to keep your carbohydrates high. And that is generally one of the things that they take out when you are on your diets. Most times when you're on your diets, your carbohydrates levels go down so low. This is why you get cranky. This is why you get tired. And this is why you can't sustain those diets. But you put yourself on a plant-based diet and all of a sudden you're getting all the carbs. So what rises? Your energy. You're happy. You feel good. You've got the energy to actually go and exercise, whereas before you're like, oh my God, I'm starving. How can I go for a walk even? But when your energy's up, you can do more. When you're moving more, when you're eating right, when you're healthy, you are going to start getting the results you want. So, to answer the question, how do I get off this 30-year weight loss roundabout? Or for anyone who's been on it, start to look into changing your lifestyle to a high-carb, low-fat vegan. And when you start to put into place the dietary principles of a plant-based diet, whole foods, don't start getting into the fake meats and everything else like that. I've met plenty of overweight vegans, that I assure you. But a plant-based diet, you will finally start to get the results that you're after. Plants always are for the win. Thank you so much for joining me. My name's Jade. I'm from the Rawsome Truth. Love life and live free. Bye for now.